What's up, guys? Welcome. Friday morning. We got probably a half hour. I've got a lot of stuff I got to do for a wedding this weekend. So let's get into it. Bitcoin just looks like it's gonna be a choppy shit show today. Look at this. This is garbage. Don't trade Bitcoin right now. I caught one of my trades I did this morning. I actually lost one trade. I think I lost a PayPal trade. And then I got stopped out. I don't know. I got stopped out on 2 trades and then made one good trade on DraftKings. But basically, I saw this head and shoulders here. This was my scalp this morning. That was a good profit. So head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Once it broke down, I just shorted. And, you know, your target's going to be from the head to the base of the neckline and bang. So, excuse me, that was a very, very straightforward short. Pretty easy. So, that was my trade this morning. Otherwise, I am holding, or I picked up some wrap today. I haven't posted this on Twitter. I just posted it in my private Telegram. But if you guys aren't in my private Telegram, I'll share a link in the chat just to give you guys a bonus for joining me today. Let me see if I can get the link. All right, I got the link. So if you guys are in the chat, you can join my private Telegram. That is free. It's not a scam group or anything. I don't ask for money. Don't join my scam group. Don't join the fake scam groups. Yeah, there was some scam group on Telegram that had 17,000 followers, and somebody put $300,000 of their own money onto some platform that this guy runs that you can like copy trade. So anyway, yeah, join that link, you guys. That's my free Telegram. Bonus for you guys for joining me today. But anyway, yeah, so I picked up some of this shit today. I don't know what the hell it is at all. It's some like some security technology thing. But basically you're at a major support here. There's absolutely no volume, and we're seeing a little bit of volume start to sneak in. Okay. Seeing some volume start to sneak in. That was a huge volume day, and we're holding above the Gunnar EMAs, which Gunnar EMAs are a free script you guys can use anytime you want. Okay. It's on TradingView. You guys can use it. It's free. It's called Gunnar EMAs. It's the 11 and the 22 EMA. So it's holding support well. This could potentially be a nice big breakout. And if it breaks out, you know, I could get a nice big move here. So for me, this looks like a nice break here. And, you know, I'm expecting at least a 50% move off this. We'll see, though. DraftKings still nuking on me. I always feel you always like close a position and then you're like, oh, why didn't I hold longer? You know, but don't ever think about that. You know, what happens is, you guys, if you ever want to get back into a trade, so this is a really good tip for new traders, especially because this is what I struggled with when I first started, is if you want to get back into a trade, just find a new setup. So like this was a 1-minute chart setup. So there's no, and I closed at target down here. That setup at trade was gone. Like this could have just bounced and kept going, right? Because that setup played out and it's done. So I have to take profit on that setup because that's why I took the trade. Now, I could look for new setups, so I could say, okay, I caught the 1-minute setup. Maybe there's a 3-minute short setup. Maybe there's a 5-minute short setup. Maybe there's a 15-minute short setup, okay? And you could see here, so once I close that, I could say, okay, look, I have a 15-minute bearish engulfing candle, okay, right here. So that is a 15-minute bearish engulfing candle. I hope you guys can hear me okay, too. Let me double check. I didn't check my audio. Okay. There's been times where I forgot to check my audio, and I'm literally just sitting here talking to myself. So I want to make sure for that. But anyway, so 15-minute bearish engulfing candle. So now I have a new setup, and I could say, all right, well, here's going to be resistance. Maybe I should just short resistance, okay? And then if I short it up here, bam, I get that nice drop, and that was a new setup, okay? So if you ever want to get back into a trade, that's fine. Just find another setup on a different time frame or whatever, but don't just FOMO back in because you think that you missed out or whatever, okay? So like if I close here, say that was my target and it drops again, I can't just FOMO back in because I'm probably going to give back a lot of my profit that I just made. So, find new setups. That's the way I like to do it. But anyway, let's check out some comments here. I just jumped out of my chair from that intro. Damn. Was that intro really loud? Or was it just really cool? That's hilarious. My bad. If it was loud, let me know. I can adjust the audio on my intro. Let me check it actually while we're on stream. Let's see. Properties. How do I do that? I don't know if I can adjust the audio on here. Speed. I think what I have to do is adjust the desktop audio. Desktop audio. Okay, we'll make that 80% for now. All right, you guys let me know if that was too loud because this is a delay. So whenever I read your comments, it's always like a delay from me responding to you. Okay, crypto. Let's just pull up the Bitcoin chart here so we can watch this do absolutely nothing and chop around. Doesn't bearish engulfing candles have to extend higher and lower on the wicks? Yes and no. I don't know the correct answer to that because I've seen plenty of bearish engulfing candles work out. Like here's another bearish engulfing candle. It didn't quite engulf that wick. Now if it does engulf the whole wick, that's like max confidence in the candle, but I mean to me this is a bearish engulfing candle. So if you want to play like by the book, I'm not even sure. You might find different things in different resources, honestly. So so yeah, somebody said I have videos on entering trades. Yeah, I have you guys like if you there's like I have like 90% of topics covered on YouTube, you guys. Okay? So seriously, like 90%. Like here is a sweet like if you just go to my YouTube, type in YouTube/Nebraskan Gooner, and you just go through my playlists. I've got tons of playlists. This one is how to enter a trade. How to make money on strong trading in assets, which is kind of what I just showed you guys of wrap. There's kind of a similar setup there. Just like not gambling, momentum trading, stuff like that. But I have so many, like if you're brand new and you just want to learn like the fundamentals, bam, you got this here as well. So like go through my videos. They're freaking amazing. And a lot of people don't even know about my breakfast trade series, which are really quick videos too. These were some older ones, but these are awesome. So you got to go through this whole series. Everything is gold. If you ever want to if you're ever looking for a topic for trading, I probably have it. And I'm continuing to make more. I have 2 more videos coming out soon. One of them is about another video about using on balance volume. And then the other one talks about my favorite trade setups, like what I look for in charts and what what kind of like gets me excited when I'm trading. So anyway, how many years have I been trading? Since 2018 is when I started learning about everything, like the very beginning of 2018. Am I shorting Bitcoin? No, I literally just said don't trade Bitcoin right now. It's just sideways. Like I think the short would be on breakdown of the EMAs. Or let me get rid of I think we can go if we reject here, we can definitely go to 21.5. I don't know if it's going to happen or if we're just going to chop or maybe we hold bullish here and somehow push, but there's some key levels to watch for. Like here's going to be a key level. This is the base of this candle. But we have a high volume rejection, so that's pretty important to me. But everything's been overall bullish from the bottom, so it's just a mega chop fest. But anyway, I think the best short setup would be a breakdown here and then catch this drop to somewhere in here. Because if you see here, once you lose this, there's a minor support here. Let me clean this up a little bit. So once you lose this level, you've got one minor support here, but then there's really nothing. I mean, it's just open air down to here. So that could be a really juicy trade, like get in here, you've got a tight stop loss, and then hope it rejects and just nukes. So for now, going into a weekend, I'm not taking any trades. Yesterday was a really good day, so I don't want to give back profit today. So I've got that one trade open on wrap. That's literally all I have open right now. And it's going to be a tight stop loss because look, I definitely don't want to see it go below the base of this candle here. But like if it drops back and gets below my entry, I got in at like 193 or 194 or something like really low today. If it goes back below here, that's probably just going to be a fake breakout and start a breakdown anyway. So I'm just playing it safe today, going into a Friday. I've got a lot of stuff. Like I said, I've got a wedding this weekend, and apparently they've organized a ton of shit for us. Like we're meeting at Top Golf with the groomsmen later today, and then we've got like the rehearsal like a couple hours after, and then I've got like making us get a haircut, or they're having haircuts for us tomorrow morning, and then we've got the wedding stuff all day, and then Sunday we have like a brunch. So like I'm like full on committed to this wedding this weekend. So somebody asked if there's a bearish engulfing candle on the 12-hour Bitcoin chart. Let's see. Okay, we do have, in fact, a bearish engulfing 12H candle on high volume. So yeah, I mean, that's not good, right? So, and really what this looks like, I don't know. This is so hard to like, so if I'm drawing my trend lines, I'm probably going to go here. So there we go. So like, is this just a rising wedge? I don't like this. Sorry, my nose is itchy. I feel like I have a nervous habit of itching my nose. I do that when I talk in front of people too. When I public speak, I just do this. Anyway, that's my nervous tick, in case you guys are wondering. This just looks like a deviation though. Like, oh man, is this a rising wedge, you guys? Look at this. I've never really noticed this. That doesn't look very good. It looks kind of concerning. I mean, if we break down this, that would coincide with my other trade setups too. And, you know, we'd probably do that. And then if you guys don't know, the rising wedge target, you go from top to bottom and you draw that on the breakdown, and that's your target. So target would be similar area to where I had mentioned before. So yeah, I mean, that's not good. This is not a good look. Look, so we have a fake breakout here and a high volume rejection. You see that volume, you guys? That was a low volume breakout, right? Low. I mean, it was decent volume, but it was lower volume than the rejection. And so what happens is this is most likely a deviation, and it's most likely that this is a local top on a 12-hour chart for maybe the next week or two, maybe? I don't know. It's hard to say, but for the next, you know, amount of, I can't even say how much time. You never try to predict time in the markets. You just try to predict up and down directions, right? Directions and price values, because sometimes things can go sideways forever and then down to the target, or they can just go straight down to target. So you just never know, right? You really never know. So let me see what else you guys. Yeah, it definitely looks like a rising wedge with a deviation. I mean, this is pretty clean top line, and that's definitely a deviation on high rejection volume. So I mean, that's not good. So anybody longing and opening new longs up here, that's not smart. My teams, we actually closed our portfolio exposure last night because we're just playing it safe, because this looks like a rejection. My team's been really freaking doing well on these longs and holding, and we've been holding a few positions for a couple weeks now. So we just decided to cut them. We've been holding them a while. We're not getting a heavy momentum push. We're just kind of getting a slow, steady climb, and it's just kind of getting, you know, whatever. So if you guys want to check out my portfolio tracker, though, we post all our positions live. It's $20 a month. If you want to check it out, it's in my bio right here. It's this thing. Don't do any other. The only things I have that are paid, you guys, is my indicator and my portfolio tracker. And my indicator, the developer gets a royalty, and the portfolio tracker, my team gets paid for that. So people get like mad at me for doing paid stuff, but I'm like helping other people make money. So I feel like I'm like helping people have employment, basically, which is nice for them. And obviously me, but it's nice for them. And we charge $20 a month for the portfolio tracker. Like, we're not trying to make crazy money off it. We could probably charge more, but I just wanted something that my team could help with to help get them a little bit extra income as well. So anyway, if you guys want to check that out, we post like our exposure. It's KuCoin spot only, but they have short tokens, so we can still do shorts. We're up this year almost 20%. We hit all-time high in July, and then we had a little bit of drawdown, maybe like 5% drawdown, and then we had like a 3% gain like the last week or two on the entire portfolio. So we're doing pretty well, and I mean, with how bearish the market's been, I mean, being up almost 20% this year, I think is pretty solid. Do I ever show micro cap coins as paid promotion? I haven't done any promotions in forever, you guys. Like, I rarely did them ever anyway, but like I don't even check my DMs for that shit. So no, I just work with companies for YouTube sponsorship to get you guys more free education. That's all I've been doing lately. I worked with Bund for a while, and they have been still working, and they said they want me back on the team after they get closer to some more launches or something. I don't know. But I worked with Bund for like 6 or 8 months. I like to work with companies rather than like that I think have a good product. And like I don't really post about their token ever. I just more so, I mean, I did post about Bund token occasionally, but I never was holding any. So I was just working with them on their team. I like to work with companies like as an advisor and help them grow and help them, make a good product for their users and stuff like that. So I don't like to just be like, oh, look at, I mean, I'm never going to do that, but like, I don't know. I can't even think of an example. Oh, look at this shit coin. Go buy this. It's going to moon and like get paid for that. That doesn't make any sense to me. Like, there's no reason to do that. And I don't know if people do that or not. But it just doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm here for the education. So if I get partnerships, it's for education for you guys. So it's like, hey, sponsor my YouTube videos, which is free content for my users. Bam. Works for me, right? So anyway, what's the best way to build up from starting with $20? Well, it depends. Like if it depends on your bankroll. Like if you have like a $500,000 spot account and you want to just go with leverage for $20, you could kind of degen on that and try to grow it kind of quickly. And as it starts to grow, you could take the risk off a little bit. But if you are, you live in a different country than the US and minimum wage is different or whatever, and $20 is a large account for you, maybe you just grow it slowly. Maybe you only make 50 cents on a trade or 20 cents on a trade. And over time you slowly compound and you grow that portfolio. I'm trying to see. I was going to try to show you guys an example from something, but I don't have a good one over here. But yeah, so maybe that's hard to say. If I start with a $20 account or $50 account or whatever, like I could just go all in 100x on that and try to see if I can grow it, right? But we're not all in the same situation. We all have different bankrolls. So somebody said 100x that, baby. Can I do a mock trade and explain a little bit, Gunnar EMA? I have a video that explains EMAs in my breakfast trade series. My mock trade from this morning, well, it was the actual trade I took. Oh, dang, I should have shorted K this morning. This one's down pretty nice. I posted this on Twitter. It's down 0.5%. I never ended up shorting that, but that would have been a nice one. Anyway, what was my trade? So my trade was DraftKings this morning, you guys. It was a short. It was literally a 1-minute chart, and patterns don't always work out on the 1-minute chart. But what I had here was I saw this high volume rejection here. Okay, and then we see increasing volume here, so I just caught the retest and shorted down because this is a head and shoulders. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and your target is from the top of the head. You bring this down to the neckline, and bam, that's your target. So that was a really good trade. I could set it up like this, like if I set up a short position here, like I would put my stop loss pretty tight, and that would be my target. So it's 0.3% risk, 1.5% reward, and it worked out great. And then you move on to the next setup. You don't dwell on it. So how long did it take me to become profitable? He said he's 6 months in. I honestly don't know. I feel like around the 6-month mark is where I started seeing like I started seeing like this more than like, because I think I didn't use very much money at all for like the first 6 months. Like I do distinctly remember like using almost nothing, and just kind of being like meh, like whatever. I'm just kind of slowly bleeding. I don't know what I'm doing. But then I remember maybe around the 6-month mark or so, I remember starting to see like, oh, like I'm just kind of like going back and forth here. And that's before my risk management was fully, like I just didn't have a full grasp on it. So I was still kind of probably losing more and my position sizes weren't as consistent. So everything was just kind of going sideways and I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm up. And then I'd just dwindle back down. But I wasn't like just nuking and like slowly bleeding at that point, I finally started to be like, okay, I kind of got a grasp on this. And then I would start to get to the point where I'd be like, oh, I'm doing pretty well. Oh, shit. It wouldn't even be like that. It would be like, oh, I'm doing pretty well. Poor risk management. Okay, I'm doing pretty well. Poor risk management. Okay, I'm doing pretty well. Poor risk management. And it was like I was having these much better sustained runs, but then my risk management was still like, I would just take like a big loss randomly. I'd be like, why did I let myself do that? That was stupid. So then once you finally get your risk management figured out and you kind of have a strategy, you start to see this. And if you start aiming for this, you're going to do a lot, and you're going to have drawdowns. You're going to do a lot better than if you're aiming for this. Like, do not aim for this kind of P&L. Like, this is too vertical. You will have very small periods where it happens like that. But after this comes this. Always. Almost always. Like, it's always going to happen because if you go too big, you're eventually going to have a bad streak. So what you need to do is just stay consistent, like completely consistent. And when the market's hot and it's volatile, you're going to see this anyway. And then when the market cools down, you're just going to see this. And that's okay. Because you can't expect when the market's sideways, like even look at Bitcoin right now. Okay. Like when Bitcoin's doing this, okay, you are not going to make very much money as when Bitcoin's doing this, right? Like there's more money to be made here and here than there is here and here. It's just logics, right? It's literally just the logic of more volatility, price moving more, you can make more money. So just think of the long game, you guys. Don't let, like, I've heard stories, and there's so many stories of people just making their account up. Like, in, like, a month or two, their account does, like, a 4X, right? From here. And then in a week or two, straight back down. Like, they just kept going. They just were going too big. So once you get a strategy, find some setups you like that are reliable, and just be consistent with them, and you're going to see this. And yes, you will see some drawdowns. But if you are smart about it, you're going to always see those drawdowns get eaten back up. And once you start doing this consistently, you don't even think about your drawdowns anymore because you just know that you're going to come back up out of it and you don't care. But a lot of people, what they do is they get this drawdown and they're like, I got to make it back right now. I got to make it back right now. And they try to do that and it ends up doing this. And now you're even in a bigger hole. So don't worry if it takes you a little bit of time to get that drawdown made up, because what usually happens after that is it's like, oh shit. Like that's usually what happens after you make up a drawdown, is it's like you just go parabolic for a minute and then you reset, and now you've got this draw, and then you've got this new high now, and you're like, okay, let's just build on this and try to slowly build this up, So that's how I always think about it. If your P&L is going like this, you're just gambling. And you're never going to win over the long run that way. It's just impossible. It's just the markets are too tough to win with poor risk management and gambling. So hope that helped you guys. Risk management is definitely the hardest thing to implement. Make sure you set some rules. If you saw that video I just showed you, or if you guys saw my YouTube page I just showed you in the BitGet series, there was a video on how to turn trading into a profession and turn it away from a gambling addiction. So make sure you watch that video. Gunnar EMA, yeah, people like Gunnar EMA. It's not like anything too crazy, like sophisticated. It's literally just the 11 and 22 EMAs. But it works for me because I like momentum trading and I like quick trading. So these move pretty quickly with price. But they also work really well as supports and resistances and kind of telling you the trend. Like basically above is bullish and below is bearish. Obviously, when it's choppy, it gets a little harder. Like, when my EMAs are really close to my SMA, I don't like to trade. Like, look at this. I am not scalping, and this helps me stay away from chop. When the Gunnar EMAs are really close to the SMA, that's just chop. And look how price is chopping. But when they're really far away, price is trending. And look at this. So there's a big gap here. But look at how price is actually trending. And there's nice volatility, and price almost always comes back to the mean. So once I get overextended down here, I can look for, long scalps back to the 99 SMA. So it's kind of like the law of averages. Price always likes to go back to the mean, and now you can see it's literally just sitting here right at the mean and chopping everyone up. So if I was going to scalp Bitcoin, at least on a 1-minute chart, I need some volatility in either direction to get my EMAs pulled away from the SMA. So that's kind of one way I can stay disciplined. But you can see here, like on these higher time frames, they're a little bit further away. Like on the 3-minute chart, they're too close again for me to trade. So if I'm looking for trades, I need to go to higher time frame. Like 30-minute chart, it's too close. It's choppy. I can't do that. So anyway, what's my favorite pattern along? The Captain Hook bullish pattern. I have a video for that actually too. I think it's in the Prime XBT series. But yeah, it's like a pattern I made up. I don't know. I call it the Captain Hook. It's really cool. Do I always use same position side for trades? It's more based on risk. So like if you want to risk just say you want to risk 1.5% of your account on every trade, then you're just going to adjust your risk for your position. Like here, if I want to risk 1% on every trade, let's say I want to risk 1% on every trade, and this is my trade, 1% risk, 2.5% reward. I could technically go all in here, and I'd only risk 1%. Now I'm not going to do that. I actually have more of like a set amount it depends on my accounts. But like in my stock account, I just have like a set dollar amount that I just risk on every trade. For the most part, I can risk less than that, but that's my max. So depending on how many confirmations I have and how the market's trending, and how the week's been going, I might risk, I might do a little bit larger position, but again, I'm not going above that risk threshold. So if you want to risk just 1% of your account, then you have a 2% stop loss, then you could technically go half of your account in, right? Because you're only risking 1%. But the point here is the tighter your stop loss, the bigger position you should technically be able to use. But if you're a newer trader or you're getting stopped out a lot, then you should widen your stop losses and reduce your position size. So if you're just doing $10,000 positions, so let me do a long because most of you guys can relate to longs better. So let's just say my target is, 5% here. Okay. And I want to put a stop loss at 2%. I need to go smaller than if I put a stop loss here. So like if I want to risk $1,000, I can do a $10,000 position here. But if I do a $10,000 position with my stop loss here, then that puts me at $2,000 risk, and that's too much, right? And it's actually $200, but I multiplied by 10x leverage on that. So yeah, but I hope that makes sense. So if you're widening your stop loss to avoid getting stopped out, you reduce your position size. And I think that's what a lot of newer traders don't do, is they go same position size as always. And then they're like, well, I don't want to get stopped out here, so I'm going to put it way down here. That's fine. Just use a smaller position. Who's at my house? Hold on. Oh, shoot. You guys, I got to go upstairs. Apparently I have to sign for a package. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to run upstairs and sign for this package, and then I'll be right back. Brief intermission. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Okay, I'm back. You guys, you want to see what I got? What's up? I made it back. Sorry about that. Hope you guys had a nice break to go get your coffee or pee or something. All right. Got to open it with this weird knife that I found when I was moving stuff in my basement. All right, this is what I got. Let's see. It's really not that cool, but I've been looking forever for this. my new followers, you guys aren't even gonna like get what's going on here. You're gonna be like, what the hell is this guy doing? Oh, because I'm not in my real office anymore. All right, come on. This is spot. Okay. All right. So I don't think it's in great, amazing condition, but let's see. They packaged it really nice. That's good. Somebody asked what the package was. Yeah, I'm showing you guys. I'll show you. Holy cow. This is like... Yo, this is so taped up. Like, I think he overkilled it. I'll never be mad about somebody overkilling it, though. Like, some people probably legit get mad. They're like, oh, how dare you wrap this so nicely. Jeez, it takes me 5 more seconds to open. Yeah, how about I just didn't package it nice and then it broke and then you'd be pissed anyway, right? Like, when you work in customer service, it's funny, like, what people get mad about. Like, oh, I did too good of a job? Okay. Sorry. Okay. Holy cow, you guys. I'm gonna, like, cut my finger off. What is this thing? Look at this. It's a weird knife. Like, I don't like it. I actually have another knife somewhere that I usually use, but I don't know where it's at because I moved. So anyway, I moved my office right now because we had a bunch of water damage on the other side of our basement, and so that's getting fixed right now, and it's almost done. We got carpet coming in the next like month maybe, and then I'll get paint done, and then I can move back in my office and get my Nintendo collection back up. Holy cow, you guys! I feel like I'm like need like a professional package opener to open this for me. What the hell? Whoops. That's okay. Good thing that knife isn't very sharp. All right. Here it is. So, this is I'm only missing a couple controllers in my collection. I think I'm missing the red and the green, and I freaking missed out on the green by like 5 minutes the other day. Did I just cut my finger? Nope, didn't. It was my nail. That was a close call. Yeah, I'm still trying to open this thing. Okay. What if I just, like, cut my finger on live stream and, like, bled out? And I was like, oh, help me. All right. Anyway, that's not a very sharp knife. I don't think I could actually cut my finger off. All right. Here it is, you guys. The Fire Orange controller. Nintendo 64, sealed controller. It's actually in pretty good shape. I thought it was in worse shape. There's no breaks in it or anything. The only, like, this controller part right here, like, where the joystick's at, I have like 1 or 2 of them that's in perfect condition right here, but it's almost impossible, like from these like 30-year-old controllers, for that to be not punched in. So on the ones I have that aren't punched in, I'm like, please don't mess them up. But this is in good shape. So this is a Fire Orange sealed Nintendo 64 controller. I think I got it for $500. There was one. I've only ever seen it listed on eBay one other time, and it was $700 and some, and I missed out on the bid. Yeah, I've only ever seen it one other time. So when I saw it for $500, buy it now, I was like, I got to take it. I don't care what shape it's in because I don't know if I'll ever have a chance to get it in my collection again. There was a red, the watermelon controller. I've only ever seen one of those listed on eBay, and it sold for like $3,000. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. This is a good piece for my collection, you guys. If you guys are new followers, you've probably never seen it in the background. I have like almost all the controllers. So that's pretty cool. Somebody asked, so yeah, thanks for opening that with me. This is like the orange PlayStation, or the orange PlayStation, the orange Nintendo was like my favorite one. So that's pretty cool to get into my collection. Because again, I have no idea if I'll ever find it again. But if I can find it in better condition, I'll probably buy it in better condition and then sell this one. But we'll see. Risk management, bro. Scissors instead of that crazy blade. I don't have scissors down here. I don't know where anything's at, you guys. I moved my office, so I'm just gonna start trading with this. I'm gonna be like, did you see that? It just came loose. Look at that. It doesn't even clip. This is so dangerous. I need to throw this away. I'm going to start using it for scalping. And if I get really mad, I won't be able to use my mouse anymore. How dare you pump through my short stop loss? Okay. Let me see what people are saying. So, do I keep track of a large watch list? Okay, so somebody asked about my watch list. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys. My watch list is kind of, it's like whatever the flavor of the week is, basically. But I don't have a good way of explaining it here in like seconds. But I have a video here on my breakfast trade series on my YouTube, creating and organizing a watch list. Bam. Not only that, you can go down to my Trading Trends podcast, and there's a series premiere with me talking about like my morning routine, how I set up the charts. Now that was like a year ago, so I probably changed my strategies a little bit since then, but it talks about how I set things up and how I like organize my watch list on there and like what I look for in the day and yada yada. So yeah, so everyone's talking about Arsenal beating Leicester tomorrow. That would be great. I've been watching Arsenal All or Nothing. I got 2 more episodes to get through, but that's been fun to watch. But yeah, come on, Arsenal. I love Saliba. I'm excited to have freaking Rock at the back on defense. Gabriel's a good defender. We've got good depth now, so I'm excited about Arsenal. But let's talk about charts. Yeah, I'm super excited about Arsenal. The knife is rad. That's awesome. Yeah, so somebody asked, yeah, my basement had mold in it and like old water damage. So, and then new water damage. So yeah, I had to take care of that. So we completely gutted everything out back there. And now my wife's getting some big fancy laundry room. She hired designers and she's all happy. So happy wife, happy life. But anyway, oh yeah, what do you guys have? Somebody asked about AVAX chart. We can look at AVAX. Thanks for joining, you guys. I hope you guys have learned something. This has kind of been a not typical stream because we're kind of just BSing here. But AVAX looks okay in the short term. Like, if it can reclaim this area here, like this is like a pretty low, it's a decent volume breakdown, but we've got some nice increasing volume here. So if AVAX can reclaim this, what are we on, a 1 hour chart? If it can reclaim this, it could probably make a nice little push to this resistance or even this resistance or make a new high. I would consider, if I was going to trade this, if it closed above here, I would say I would look at target 1 and with a tight stop loss, so that gives me a 2-to-1 risk to reward. So that's reasonable. Otherwise, you could have your target 2 up here. A little bit riskier to play it up to there. So like I would probably play a pretty tight scalp, like something like this. If I was trading this, if it reclaims the breakdown. Now you still have a little bit of resistance here. But if it can reclaim this in the next 40 minutes and close above that, then I would say it has a chance to break above here. So, or to retest that other resistance. So it looks okay. Looks a little healthy here. So could pop a little bit. Do you have long-term positions? I've never really done too many long-term stock positions. So it's mostly been crypto. Let's see. What did somebody ask? Link is what somebody just asked. Jeez, I had a brain fart. Look at AVAX is already starting to push. I guess the whole market's pushing a little bit. So maybe that'll pump my wrap that I'm holding. Let's see. Link. What do we want? We want Tetheris. Here we go. So let's look at the weekly. Wow, Link is strong. It's coming up to important resistance here. I haven't looked at Link in a while. I probably should have. So let's see. So pretty important resistance here. I mean, it's pretty clear. You can see that wick. So let's just keep going down time frames and see what we see here. What we got here. I mean, it looks really nice. It looks pretty bullish. I mean, I probably wouldn't chase an entry right now on high time frame. Like, damn, look at this volume, you guys. So here's what I look for. Something's pumped a shit ton. I can't really buy it right now because it just doesn't make sense with my risk management rules. But what I could do is like, look, here's very high volume right here. Okay, this is the highest volume locally next to that volume. So if this breaks down, I could catch a quick short. Okay, so that's what I would be looking for right now at this moment in time. If that breaks down, I would probably short it to at least here, if not here. So that would be a nice quick little scalp for me, quick little trade. It only if it breaks down, all right? Because obviously I can't chase here because my risk reward is screwed. Because if you look at this flag breakout, which has a technical target from the pull, then it's got a little ways to go. But if I'm looking at this as a trade, I'd have to put it below here, and my target would be here, and that's a 5% target with a 4% risk. That's not a good risk to reward, okay? And I usually front run these targets slightly, so it'd probably be a little tiny bit lower. But anyway, that's not a good risk to reward. There's no trade set up here at this current amount of time. I could go to lower time frames, like let's say the 2-hour chart. Okay. Nice bullish volume, nice breakout here. So I could maybe say, all right, I'm going to get in here with a stop loss of here. And my target would be, 4% or whatever we had. So that gives me a good risk to reward. So I could potentially play this. 1H has a little bit of a rejection here. Let's keep going lower. So we're seeing some rejections here. Overall, I mean, this is how I would run that trade if I was doing it on low time frames. This has been strong. It's still looking pretty good. But if it starts to break down, I could look for a short. Right now, this is just out of where I would trade it. This would be the long setup if I was getting in late. What you would hate to see would be this BS. Right? But I mean, if I'm looking at just a long setup right now, but you have this 15-minute bearish engulfing candle here, and we're rejecting at that resistance. So I'd almost feel better about getting in if it broke above here and then took off. So it's kind of in a no man's land for me personally taking a trade here. Nice bullish trend. I wish I would have seen this one a little bit earlier. Maybe caught something on that, but yeah, so that's kind of where I'm looking at right now. But again, for that big breakout, if I was looking for, like a 6H or a 4H trade, I could just look at this high volume candle. And if we lose the base of that, then I know we are likely to see a little bit lower numbers as there's a lot of underwater people. Do I use USDT.D? No, I've never used. Is that Tetherist dominance? I've never even tried that. Again, most of the times I look at charts I can trade, you guys, because if I can't trade it, then I don't really give a shit about looking at the chart. Oh, shit. Somebody just slammed the door. It scared me. So, yeah, that's what I kind of usually do there. But what else? Yeah, we can look at FTM real quick. I got a few more minutes, you guys, and I got to get going. FTM is looking pretty strong. This is actually one of them that I wanted to long, and I got stopped out on a while back. But we had this bullish J hook here, and the target for this would be, I think I went from here to here. That's not right. I didn't go from there to there. I went from the base of this to here, and it hit my target there almost. But this was a bullish J hook. So once we reclaimed this area, we're just kind of in bullish trend now. But of course, I got stopped out on this big ass wick, which was on like what, a weekend, I think. No, it was on Tuesday. So I got stopped out. Maybe it was this wick. I think it was this one earlier on. Yeah. So if I didn't get stopped out on this one, I would have got stopped out in here. But anyway, so FTM looks bullish, and it's probably going to continue higher, but it just shook me out. I did take some profit. So what happened is we got in on this retest right here the next day, like at the low, and then it pumped. I took 50% profit up here somewhere, and I got stopped out. So I still made some money on the trade, but the setup here was really nice because you have this big breakdown, and once you reclaim that, you assume bullishness, and you can see here how this support held and how technical levels held, and we never had a close below. So I'm not as good on high time frames, and I'm not as patient on high time frames as low time frames, but if I would have just waited for a close below here to close my trade, I never would have seen invalidation. So this long never was invalidated, and this one still looks like it could potentially push up to 45-cent area, maybe 50 cents. So, yeah, I mean, this is a good-looking chart. I wish I would have, seen it down here a little bit and maybe taken a chance again getting back in, but I still made some money. I made the momentum play, and for me, you guys, I'm more of a momentum trader anyway. So basically, like, as high as this goes on breakout before it stalls is usually where I'm cashing out, especially in these conditions, because there's just been too many times where shit goes up and then it just breaks right back down, and you're like, I wish I would have just closed in that breakout profit, right? So, I'm not like, I've just been taking so much profit on my trades quickly lately because it's just been, everything's been choppy. Look, you barely even have 2 green days in a row here the last week. And you have it's just green, red so much lately. It's hard for me to hold being a momentum trader. So anyway, guys, yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Any closing remarks? Just careful out there. I think this weekend's gonna be a choppy shit show mess. I could be wrong, but I just feel like it's setting up to be just an annoying ass weekend for anyone trying to trade it. So I'd probably be careful. I don't even want to trade today. I feel like today is just gonna be a choppy mess too. So I bought some wrap this morning on this Gooner EMA retest, and I'm just gonna see if this takes off. And usually these shitters take off like end of day. I don't know why they wait till like literally the end of day and then they pump like 40%. I don't know why they do that. Hoping that happens. That would be great. But yeah, this chart looks nice, and if I zoom in, I've got some nice volume coming in locally. That was a nice high volume breakout. So that's what I'm looking at here. Otherwise, yesterday was the biggest day of the week, and I usually after the biggest day, once I have a good day, I'm just like, I'm gonna dial it down a little bit because that's when it's easy for me to get back profit. So anyway, you guys, yeah, thanks for joining. I appreciate you all. I got 2 more YouTube videos coming out soon. If you have any educational topics you want, throw them in comments, or message me on Twitter or whatever. I'm always open to suggestions for educational content. But thanks so much, you guys, and I will catch you later. Have a good weekend. But thanks so much, you guys, and I will catch you later. Have a good weekend.